Hi guys, Jamaica on. I'm going to make beef tips. And the thing is, all the recipes I've seen, they always have stew meat. And I think I want to try it with a little bit better meat. However, I bought tenderloin tips. I'm not a real good shopper. I'm just a buyer when I see something I like. And it was £1.69, $21.95. I don't see where that's going to be much of a deal, money-wise. But I think it's going to be good. Okay. Let me wash my hands because I'm a washer. And I'll show you that I've got the beef in here. It's not 2 pounds, but there's just my husband and I, and maybe my daughter will eat some. But so I think that 1.7 pounds is going to be enough. And then I'm going to add the old cream of mushroom. And I really need to wash these cans. I get a little worried about cans because in the grocery store, when you're not in there at night, there's bugs and rats and mice and all kinds of other nasty things crawl all over it. And I think they lay eggs and do pee on it and everything else. So I always wash my cans. That's what I was taught. And I just like to be clean. And I'm making a few changes, but I'm sure it's going to be good because I'm a pretty good cook. That's not it. Pretty good cook. I'm not the greatest, and I'm not really good at setting it out and making it look fancy, but I'm going to follow some of what I've seen. Now, starting out with the cream of mushroom, and I got the kind with the 25% less sodium because there is a lot of salt in this, and I'm not supposed to have too much salt. I don't think it's too good for anybody. You can come in here a little bit closer if you want. I don't know what you're going to see. Maybe I can set you so you can see the pot. That might be more interesting if I can tip you down. Tip me down. There, you can kind of see it that way. Okay. I'll put this mushroom, cream of mushroom in there. I guess I could have got a smaller thing so it could all get in here. And I don't waste, so I'm trying to get it all out. And you can see that I'm using a liner. It's going to be long if I keep doing this. Alright. And then the next thing is they put in onion, but what I'm going to put in French onion soup. Because then you've got your beef broth, and you got the yummy onion, and I love French onion soup, but ooh, that is strong. Go what you do to me, what you do to me. Ah. So there's 2. I've only put 1 can of the mushroom soup because I don't know what it's going to do. And I'm not sure that I want to have that much mushroom soup. But then I'm going to add the beefy mushroom, Lipton. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of soup here. We're making beef over beef tips. So I'm going to put this in. It sounds like a lot of soup, a lot of onion, I mean. And then I'm going to use a brown gravy. And I use McCormick's usually. So we got a lot of stuff in there. I sure don't want to mess up $22 worth of meat. But here's where I'm going to change it. Instead of that extra mushroom soup, I'm going to put in maybe about half a jar of this. This isn't a jar, it's a whatever container of sour cream. I think that's going to make it real creamy. I think that's going to be enough. It's about a half. My mother could make concoctions, and I guess that's where I learned all this. But most of my stuff ends up pretty darn good. And I've been fat most of my life. I'm not fat now, but I'm still not skinny. All right, then I'm going to put in some garlic. And I'm not going to overdo this, but I do like garlic. I'll put in that's maybe a tablespoon. I don't know if I need garlic powder, but they all do it. So I'm putting in a little garlic powder. I'm going to put in a little bit of parsley flakes because I do like parsley. And I haven't decided if I'm putting this over rice or noodles. I kind of think I'm going to like it over noodles, but I'm a rice person too. I'll show you my noodles. I got some nice noodles at Publix. Manischewitz. So I think there's probably plenty here for 2 nights. So I'm going to try it on rice one night and noodles one night and see how that goes. All right. Now I've gotten everything in there. I've got a little bit of oregano. I just like oregano, and I'm going to put a little bit of oregano in there. And then I'm going to put some pepper. I got my fancy pepper thing here. I guess I could have used that. Everybody likes these. There's none in it, but there is a little bit of sea salt, so I'll put a little sea salt in it. All right, now I think that's going to be great, except I always like a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And I think that's going to be enough juice. I'm not sure. I might have to put some. I want to look at this. Looks like it's going to need some broth. So I guess I'm going to have to put the broth in after all, which I have. But what they didn't not putting in either, some people are. I'm going to put in mushrooms, but I do have to wash these, so hang on. Okay, you back? I've got them all except for the one last one. I have a little vegetable brush, and I just rinse them there. Got a little bit of dirt on them. I guess you can't make a mushroom without dirt. I do love mushrooms. My husband doesn't like mushrooms, but he likes the flavor of them, and it's okay with him if I put them in the dish. But he doesn't want them so small he can't find them, so I just cut off the ends and I'm just put the whole in there. And I'm a fan of the Crockpot. I think they do a good job. But the problem with it is, oops, that one's not quite so clean. The problem with the Crockpot to me is because there's just 2 of us, it makes an awful lot. And what I did is I bought a smaller Crockpot, but then I couldn't get all my ingredients in there because it's hard to put partial ingredients. So I went back to the big one, and I just decided that what I'm going to have to do is eat it 2 or 3 times or freeze it. Now I'm big on freezing. When I make my spaghetti sauce, I make enough for about 10 or 12 meals. And I just stick it in my freezer in my little lock and lock that I get from QVC. These are clean, but I still find a little bit of spot. I don't want it to be nasty. So anyway, you just do things the way you want to do them and whatever you're planning on making. But this is how I do it. And we'll go again and see right down in here. I think it looks pretty good. I don't have this plugged in. I'm going to start that up. I'm going to start it on high just to get it warm. And then I'm going to turn it down to low. I'm going to cook it about 7 or 8 hours. Now, I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to see if I can find a little bit of beef broth. I decided against the beef broth for 2 reasons. I didn't think I needed it, and I don't have any. But I do have all that Lipton soup in there, and I have 2 cans of the onion soup. So I felt it was safe to go ahead, you know, with all the sour cream and everything. I just put maybe 1.5 cups of water. I think that's going to do fine. And then you can see that I'm mixing it up. And it looks to me like it's going to be pretty scrumptious. And like I said, I haven't made this before, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be good. And the thing about the Crockpot is, if it ends up that you don't like something about it, you can make any changes later in the day, but I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it needs anything else in there. The cucaracha, I think it's going to be fine. Okay, well, that's my meal for the day. I'll try to come back and show you what it looks like later. Love you. Bye-bye. Again, I put my top on. And I'm going to cook it for about an hour on high just to get the heat in it. And then I'm going to put it down to low and cook it for about 6 or 7 hours. And I know this looks kind of like mismatch, but I've made enough things in here. I know this is going to be good. It will. And I think pretty much y'all are just looking at all these recipes and you're making it your own, and that's what I did. But I just kind of think that I really like the idea with the sour cream. And I saw the one with potatoes. I'm not sure if I want to make with the potatoes or put it over mashed potatoes later on. That would be good too. So I think this would be good over mashed potatoes, over rice, or over noodles. And I probably have enough to do all 3 because, as you know, I'm on Ozempic, so I don't eat a whole lot. And my husband's not a fat person. He doesn't eat much. He is getting fatter though. He's eating a lot more, and I'm eating a lot less. So we're switching. He's 6'7", and I'm 5'3", so there's a little difference in our height. All right. Well, I'm going to turn this off, and you're just going to have to think about how it was cooked, and I'll answer any questions and tell you if it was good or not. Believe me, I'll tell you if it wasn't good because I'm not shy. All right. Love you. Bye-bye.